This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutation, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Dark Souls. In the last episode, we did a little bit of cleanup. We tried to coerce a dragon, and they didn't come towards us. We completed a couple storylines, like Big Hat Logan's in for more power or knowledge, which drove him to saying Grig's affections for his master, which ended up him going hollow because he could not suffer the challenges of Sin's Fortress. And we defeated the faker, the illusionist, Gwendolyn, who sought to manipulate us with an illusion, and we taught him that we cannot be manipulated, except we kind of still are. But anyway, we're now back here in the painted world, and I thought it was time to finally finish off one of the bosses here. We left her alone because, well, we felt pity for her, but now that we're near the end of our journey, I believe it's time to let her go off into that sweet night. Now for this fight, it's actually not super difficult. It's more gimmicky than anything because of the how the fight goes. Because you're well, I'll just show you. Now Priscilla here. See if she says anything new. Probably not. Well, I feel sorry for you, lady. My wife to be. It apparently will not to be, at least in this playthrough. So, all right. So Priscilla does have a tail weapon, like most dragons does, because she's a human/dragon hybrid. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get it because, I mean, basically this is it. Her tail's like this very small, tiny little section right here. What most people do to get Priscilla's tail is they use, I forgot what the name of the pyromancy is. It's basically a pyromancy like mini fireball that you shoot like right in front of your face. Does like a ton of damage, but you have to be like right up on the person to get it. So. Let's see, I think it's like, yeah. Okay, so she's not in combat yet, but basically it's this really small thing. I'm gonna see if I can get it with the hammer. If I don't, I'll show you what the weapon is if I end up like not getting it, because I have another character that has the tail because I used the method to get it. So, all right, we're gonna fight Priscilla. I'm sorry, my lady, but it's time to put you out of your misery. Your life scythe is not for this world. All right, let's see if we can do this in the first hit. We probably won't. Actually, I should probably be. Let's see. She's just gonna do like physical damage to me. So for the most part, you might want bleed resistance because her weapon does do bleed damage to you. So probably a good suggestion is to equip bleed resist item or bleed resist armors items, or have some on ready to go just in case that happens. So you might want to get either a blood resist ring or a steel protection just for straight out damage, depending on how much life everything you've got. If you want to try to get that tail, try to do anything. There might be a couple suggestions that try to like build up your strength either through leveling or through spells or anything like that to try and get the weapon. Like doing the red tearstone ring, purposely have your HP low, try to strike it, and then drink the HP, stuff like that. But I think I'll do bleeding resistance because I don't want to mess with that too much. I've got plenty of healing. So, all right, let's see if we cooked in that ring gave like a lot of bleed going on there. So let's cure that. All right, let's see if we can get that tail weapon from her. I'm probably not going to be able to get it, but let's find out. All right.
I expected as much.
I missed it. She's going invisible. Dang it, she's going invisible. Basically, the way you can tell that where she is if you look on the ground. You know how my feet print? See, there she comes. Here she comes. She's there. Yeah, you can. That's really the only really good method of figuring out where she is by looking at her footsteps. See if you can tell. See if I can show you her footsteps again. Up there she is. She's right in front of us. Now she's not really doing any damage to me for the most part. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't get her tail. I didn't think I was going to with this method. I thought I'd get lucky. And I'm trying to get her tail still, but it's probably not going to happen. At least not with this weapon. This weapon's too slow. Ah, well. Basically, she said, "Why'd you kill my ass for no reason?" You know what I mean? So, oh well, we didn't do it. I apologize. I thought that would be a surefire method to get it. But like I said, off screen, or like I'll show, like maybe cut it in the middle of the video or something like that, but I'll show you like what the actual weapon does. But now that Priscilla's defeated, we can actually leave this place at any time if we want to. So I'll show you by going Homeward Bone, because before, if we tried to leave like without going down that exit over there by jumping off, we would have to like go through the whole thing all over again. But now that we've killed Priscilla for pretty much no reason really, other than to get her soul, I thought you were supposed to be able to warp as soon as we killed her. Okay then, well, never mind then. Alright, so, I could have swore you could have left. Maybe I'm thinking of another game I've played or something like that. Well, sorry for giving you false information. I thought you could finally warp, because now that she's dead, you could actually leave this place. So, alright. Well, basically what I want to do is I want to go back to Anor Londo, and I want to go to the princess's chamber. So, I'm going to cut to... Basically, I'm going to cut to when I go to the princess chamber, and I want to show you what happens when you actually destroy the illusion, because there's like a little cutscene that comes with it. So I'll see you all in just a second. Alright, we're back. I switched to my other profile that had most of the character items unlocked, and I thought I'd do a good, before we do kind of like some more exploring around and talking to some last people, I thought it'd be a good chance to read some items that you could possibly get in the game that either I missed or haven't read or shown you. I know I haven't read every single item, and but a lot of these just kind of talk minor details, nothing too big, but I thought I'd show some things that that I won't be able to get in the game in my current playthrough because of like weird reasons and stuff like that, or I chose specific descriptions. But one is basically you could have there's an instant where you could have taken out Solaire, and I'm gonna show that later in the video, see if I can see if he's there to talk to, because I know on some playthroughs if you after you beat the Bed of Chaos, and if you opened up the secret passageway, I know sometimes, I believe Solaire is standing in that hallway looking for something, if I remember correctly. If you don't open up the secret passageway, beat the Bed of Chaos, then Solaire is there, and he's gone crazy because he put one of the sunlight maggots on his head, and he went bonkers. And the only reason I didn't show that is because I wanted to show something for the final area of the game. So I'll read one of his equipments that you drop when you kill Solaire, which is a sad day indeed. Shield of Solaire of Astora, Knight of Sunlight, decorated with the holy symbol, but Solaire illustrated himself, and has no divine powers of its own. As it turns out, Solaire's incredible prowess is a project of his own training and nothing more. So it basically means Solaire is a badass without having to have any like deific powers or anything like that. It's pretty neat. Let's see. Oh, the Crystal Ring Shield. This is gotten if you turn the Moonlight Butterfly's soul into a shield weapon. Weapon born from the mystical creature of the Dark Root Garden. The Moonlight Butterfly, imbued with the powers of crystal power, like the butterfly created by Seath the Scaleless, can emit crystal light rings. Yeah, this is one of those that, it's one of those items that, I'll show it to you in combat. But this is one of those descriptions that tell you how it came into being, and Seath the Scaleless is, well, I mean, you saw all those Moonlight Butterflies in the Crystal Caves before we fought Seath, right? So, anyway, if you press the R2 button, a beam of... Let's see if I can... Yeah, you saw it. Did you see that ring of energy come out? Whee! Yeah, that's pretty neat, actually, for a shield. That's its secondary function. So, instead of being able to parry, it shoots out a beam of light. So, anyway. Alright, let's keep checking it out. Let's see if there's any I've missed. A Skull Lantern. Haven't really read a lot of the talismans. Do apologize on that. Pyromancy Flame. Let's see. I know there's a couple other weapons I haven't read in my main playthrough because I didn't have them at the time. Ooh, the Dragonbone Fist. That's got, if you turn the Iron Golem's soul into a weapon, which I'll show you how to do that. The Giant in Anor Londo teaches us how to do that, but I want to show some of the weapons here. A weapon from the soul of the Iron Golem, guardian of Sen's fortress, who repelled countless heroes who sought Anor Londo. The gods fused the power of the soul with the greatest bones of the dragon, forming an appropriate core for the giant golem. Now let's see, the Guardian Tail, that is from... Ah, the Sanctuary Guardian. I missed its tail as well, so I do apologize about that. That was in the DLC. That's one of those creatures you can fight. Now, if I remember correctly, you can actually end up fighting 2 of those Sanctuary Guardians if you go back to the entrance to that place later in the DLC after you've done anything. But it's basically a whip weapon that does poison damage. Let's see, we've got the Great Scythe, Black Knight. We'll run across those here in a second. The Life Hunt Scythe. This is what you get for turning Priscilla's soul into a weapon. Scythe born for the soul of Priscilla, the stock white crossbreed trapped inside the painted world of Oriamus, or whatever. Even the gods fear Priscilla's life hunt ability, and in the hands of the mortal, its power will turn upon its wielder. You basically take bleed damage you take bleed every time you attack with it, and if you do it too much, then you'll eventually take the bleed status. It's a pretty powerful weapon except for that, but if you just equipped bleed resist weapons, it's not too nasty. The Channeler's Trident, I never got that from the Channelers at the time of the playthrough. Those guys that go woo woo and teleport all over the place. Trident of the Six-Eyed Channelers, sorcerers who serve Seath the Scaleless in hunting human specimens, thrusting in circular motions in a unique martial dance that stirs nearby allies into a bloodthirsty frenzy. Basically what it does, and I'll show you it, is I believe it's its L2 option. Oh, I can't use it properly. Well, let's see if it'll let me do it. I believe it's its R2. Basically, this power you do is a little dance. And you power things up. It's a spear, and I think if I single, if I single use it, I believe it's supposed to have. Yeah, see, you see when I thrust it, you see that little spin motion on it. But anyway, thought I'd show that off. Let's see. I already read all those. Ah, the Hammer of Vamos. This is if I kill the skeletal blacksmith, which you can do, he drops this as a unique hammer weapon. Metal Hammer of Vamos, a skeleton blacksmith, deep within the catacombs who rarely speaks. Can be used as a strike weapon, but better left in hands of talented owners. It's really not much. It's basically just a big old hammer. See, nothing too unique about it. It's unique in the fact that you have to kill the blacksmith to get it. This hammer is if you kill Andre of Astora, which if you want to do that, make sure you're about to beat the game before you do that, because obviously he's your main blacksmith for a lot of functions. But Metal Hammer of Andre of Astora, blacksmith of the old church, can be used as a strike weapon. There's another one if you kill the giant in Anor Londo as well. Here it is, the blacksmith giant hammer. Wooden Hammer, the giant blacksmith in Anor Londo who handles lightning weapons. The giant blacksmith forges with this wooden hammer as it would be hazardous to handle lightning weapons with metals. So that's what he drops if you kill him. Let's see. See, I already got that. Stone Great Axe. The Forest Sanctuary, yeah, I hadn't gotten that dropped. Oh, basically it just says Great Axe born from the Stone Knights who guard the Forest Sanctuary. That's one of the rare drops you can get from them. Let's see. I think there was, let's see, I already read those. Those are from, one lady. Oh, there's the Ghost Blade you get if you kill the ghosts. I thought there was a rare Ghost Blade I had around here. Dragon Great Sword from cutting off the guy's tail. The Obsidian Great Sword. You get, here it is. This is the Calamite weapon. I told you could get Calamite's tail, and I wasn't sure if I had gotten it with my other character, but I guess I had. This Great Axe, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed for the tail of the one-eyed dragon Calamite, the last of the ancient dragons. The mystical power of its obsidian blade will be released when held in both hands. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I had actually done it in this character's playthrough, but I guess I actually tried really hard. Basically, it's that. It's a heavy weapon. I think it's raised by using a dragon scales, and it's got the see, boom. You do Calamite's like fire attack if you R2 it, which is pretty neat. Let's see. But anyway, Moonlight Greatsword, I showed that last time. Let's see. That's just a crystallized weapon of that. The Greatsword of Artorias. This, I'm trying to remember if this is the one you get from his soul, or if you get it from. Okay, it's from Sif's soul. The Great Sword of Artorias, sword born for the soul of the great Grey Wolf Sif, guardian of the grave of the Abyss Walker Artorias. Yeah, I don't really have the stats for it, but I can show you it nonetheless. Yeah, it's basically just a great sword weapon. So, unfortunately, since I can't utilize it as well, it doesn't actually utilize its best functions, but I thought I'd show that. Let's see. I am missing a couple weapons on this playthrough because I haven't played through it 3 times to unlock all the soul variations of it. The Sunlight Straight Sword. This is Solaire's weapon. This standard longsword belongs to Solaire of Astora. It is high quality, is well forged, and has been kept in good repair. Easy to use and dependable, but unlikely to live up to its grandiose name. Let's see. Priscilla's Dagger. This is what you get from taking off Priscilla's tail. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tail of Priscilla, the dragon crossbreed in the painted world of Arameus. Possessing the power of life hunt, it dances about when it's wielded. It's in its fashion reminiscent of the white road painted guardians. I'll show that. It's like a dagger sword weapon for the most part. Yeah, it's got some cool little, like, dancey little flighty things to it, so nothing too crazy. Let's see, that's Chiron's. Here's another of the Ghost Blades. I think this is the rare one. The ghosts of New Londo clutch this wickedly sharp dagger when their bony hands and make mincemeat of the living. It's either this Ghost Blade or the other one, but one of them's the rare drop, and I keep forgetting which one it is. Let's see. When I played this version, I used the Bandit Knife quite a bit because it does like a ton of crit damage, at least at the beginning of the game before I switched to the Scythe. And the Abyss Greatsword. This is from... this is what you can use from Artorias from the DLC. This greatsword belonged to Great Lord Gwyn's knight Artorias, who fell to the Abyss. Swallowed by the dark with its master, this sword is tainted by the Abyss, and now its strength reflects its wielder's humanity. I can show you that. And it's just another greatsword weapon, similar to the one you get from Sif. Except, yeah, it has some unique. It's R2 basically is the leading attack, which is pretty neat. Let's see. Trying to see. I don't think it has any crazy. Yeah, it has basically has all of Artorias' attacks. And let's see. Oh, I missed this when I was checking up on that. The Dark Moon Bow. This is what you get from turning Gwendolyn's soul into a weapon. Bow born for the soul of the Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Dark Moon deity watches over the abandoned city of gods and Orlando. This golden bow is imbued with powerful magic, and it's most impressive with the moonlight arrows. Alright, so now that I've shown most of that, the weapons, I know there's some armors I could show. Let's see, I already showed the armor of thorns. Oh, here we go. The royal helm. You get this from Vamos, the skeleton blacksmith. Helm of Vamos, skeleton blacksmith of the catacombs. Partially made of gold and confers high resistance overall. The helm is believed to belong to an ancient royal line, but only Vamos would know for sure, and she'll never speak again. Yeah, pretty messed up. Let's see, you have to kill him to get that. Let's see. This run has most of the armors you can get. This is Gwendolyn's armor. You can get this from killing Gwendolyn. You go to Daymore, or whatever his name is, he's hiding. You have to do that little platforming under the bridge to get to him. He sells this to you when you kill Gwendolyn. Crown of Darkstone Gwendolyn, protector of the forsaken city of Orlando. This crown of the gods demands faith immeasurable of its wearer, but it's imbued with dark mood power that enhances all magic. The image of sun manifests Gwendolyn's deep adoration of the sun. Let's see, and this one says, the power of the moon was strong in Gwendolyn, and thus he was raised as a daughter. His magic garb is silk, thin, and hardly provides any physical protection. Basically, that means he was, even though he was a man, he was raised as a woman, because I guess in this world, having powers of the sun is masculine, and having powers of the moon is feminine. So he was, so that's probably why he sounds like as he does when you fight him. You get these, the Helm of Artorias. I believe you could get these from Daymore as well after doing the DLC, if I remember correctly. Helm of Artorias, the Abyss Walker, one of Gwyn's 4 knights. The death of the helm's owner can be surmised by the corrosive dark of the Abyss and the musty azure blue tassel, once symbol of pride and glory. Same, very similar description about how he got corrupted. Smo's armor. I also in this playthrough killed Smo last instead of the other knight, so I don't have his armor to show, unfortunately. Let's see, who else? Chandler's, I've already got that. Trying to remember. I'm hoping there's like a spoiler set of armor around here. I don't know if I've bought it yet in this playthrough. Let's see, Chester's armor, we already saw that. Velka, the witch outfit, the antiquated crimson robe, brass leggings. Let's see, I don't think there's. I already bought that. Let's see, I think that. Here's the Solaire's armor. Helm of Solaire of Astora, Knight of Sunlight, of quality but lacking in particular powers. Solaire incredible powers. Oh yeah, it just says, and it just describes what that is. I think that's it. Okay, so I didn't buy the armor yet in this playthrough. I've still left it to Domore or whatever his name is. So, all right, and there are some spells I can read as well. I've gotten most of the spells in the game, but I can read those off when I. The unique spells you can't get from... actually, no, there are some pyromancy spells, I think, that you can't get because I may have missed a character by accident. Let's see. These you get from the DLC, all this dark stuff. I think it was Chaos Storm you get from the NPC I accidentally lost track of. Oh, and Great Combustion was the spell I was talking about that does like a ton of damage up close. You have to like put it's like right. You have to be right in front of the target to use it, but it does like a ton of damage. That might have just been it. Was just those two. But anyway, let's go back to the other character really quick, and I'll show you how you can get the soul weapons. It's pretty easy. Just make sure you get the Ember for it, the Divine Ember, and then you give it to the Giant of Anorlando, and he will make boss souls into weapons. Oh, I also forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode that I could not, for the life of me, get the Hellkite Dragon to respawn for some reason in my playthrough of this game. That's the dragon on the bridge that I skipped the first time, and I was going to fight him on screen, but for some reason I can't get him to respawn, so I can't show that fight for whatever reason. It's not like it's super difficult as soon as you hit like soul level 50, but his fire does do a bunch of damage. You just quit fire-resistant weapons. But anyway, let's talk to the giant here.
What's that? Shiny, shiny. Give me that. I make weapons shiny.
Alright, so we give him the Crystal Ember for crystal weapons.
I had shiny,
or for
shiny.
no, I think that's boss weapons.
I make weapons shiny.
Let's see.
You come. With you,
Oh.
Very happy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to skip his dialogue. I thought he had something. I thought he had something else to say. Whoops. Okay, he says that again.
Friend, you talk. I no talk. But happy.
And like I said, you could kill him if you want to get his hammer. I'm not going to do in this playthrough because really it's you really just hit him and then just like run up and just like range him to death. That's pretty much it. There's really no challenge into doing it. But anyway, let's see if we show this right. Yeah, I can buy giant armor and stuff like that from. If we want to modify equipment, basically how boss weapons work is you need to have a specific type of weapon. Like a specific, like each soul requires a type of weapon. So if you want to get the life hunt side, you need a halberd weapon. If you want the dark moon bow, you need a bow-like weapon. If you want the 10 catalyst from the soul of Gwendolyn, you need a sorcerer's catalyst. The 10, let's see, the Manus catalyst is actually pretty strong. You need the soul of Manus, so you can either get his catalyst or I think that's a spell you get from him. I forgot how you're supposed to get the magic from him as well, but there is a spell you can get from Manus's soul if you do that, but you can also get the catalyst if you want to, which is a powerful sorcerer's catalyst. The crystal ring shield I showed you off earlier. Get the great shield of Artorias if you use the soul Sith. You just need a powered up shield for that. I don't have the other buffed up weapons that I can show you, like to get like the golem's fist and stuff like that. You just have to kind of, really it's best just to kind of, really in this case, just look it up online. Everyone's already done it and everything. But yeah, that's how you get soul boss weapons. You basically power up a weapon to a certain amount, and then you modify the equipment, and then just use the soul as thus. So there's a lot of, basically you have to play through the game 3 times to get all the boss souls turned into the right weapons, because you actually need those to get the achievement for collecting all the weapons in the game. Luckily, all the DLC weapons don't count, so you don't have to worry about doing that if you don't want to. Alright, so finally I'm going to show you, because I said I was going to show you the princess room. Well, I'm going to do it now, since we're here. Let's see, I have my crossbow. We're going to kill her, and we're going to show you what happens when you actually kill her, because now that we know that she's actually a figment of our imagination, amazing chest and all, you know.
Thou hast journeyed.
Let's see if she says.
Thou seekest.
Yeah, she doesn't even say anything, despite the fact that I've killed Gwendolyn. So, all right. Anyway, let's finish off. Sorry, lady, you're a fake. We know you're an illusion. You're not a real person. Yep. Now, because I already killed Gwendolyn, Gwendolyn would have some words saying, "Oh, how dare you defeat this? Now you are the guilty, and you know, and I'll, you know, cut out you destroyed my illusion." And basically, now that you've done that, if you run around the world of Anor Londo in this setting, there's some slightly difference on creature attack and weapons. People who had the blue orb you are now considered guilty. So people who are part of the Dark Moon cult can now be summoned to fight you at any time in your human form if they use the blue sun orb, or if they use the ring of the Dark Moon, Gwendolyn. Anytime you run around in Anor Londo in human form, there's a chance that someone who's wearing the ring will be summoned to attack you. So that's pretty much that there. All right, so now before we finish this episode off, I want to finally give away all these. I want to finally give away all these. Embers to all the people, just to kind of show you me giving them to, because I skipped doing them, a lot of them on screen. Or just doing it in general. I just kind of completely forgot to do it. Excuse me, sorry, this ain't too much of an action-packed episode, frankly. I'm kind of basically doing just last-minute cleanup before we end the game, because I've pretty much done almost everything. So anyway, let's talk to you.
That's an odd ember you have there. I know what you were thinking, but I'm no good with those. It won't be easy, but I'm afraid you'll have to look for someone else. Sands Fortress.
I think I already... Oh, he said something about Sir Onion. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. Well, sorry for doing that. I didn't mean to cut that out. He mentioned something about Onion Man going through Sen's Fortress. If you can pause it. Unfortunately, this game, you can't really get people to repeat stuff on a regular basis. Alright, time to go to Firelink Shrine, and I'm going to show you the other, the Sorcerer Blacksmith, which we've only talked to like once. And he's in the ruins of New Anor Londo. We talked to him like a long time ago, and I almost completely forgot about him. But there's an ember you can give him. Basically, he upgrades magic weapons specifically. So let me go ahead and give that to him. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't show every single weapon and armor in the game, but you know, that'll give you a reason to just kind of play through the game yourself and just see all of it. Or if you really don't want to do that, there's plenty of websites and wikis that already have all that information. Good people have already jotted down for us, so we can do all that already. After that, I'm probably going to do a quick cut to show me giving the Embers to the skeletal blacksmith, because I still hadn't given him the Fire Ember and the Chaos Ember, and he's allowed you to... actually, one of the better weapons in the game, boss souls wise, is a Chaos weapon. You have to upgrade, I think you have to get a sword weapon up to level 5. I don't know if you have to give it with Chaos Magic, but it's like the Cursed Sword of Quelaag or something like that, and it's a pretty good weapon as well. But anyway, let's talk to this guy.
That's a sorcery ember, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
First I've seen since my banishment from Vinheim. What do you say, friend? Mind giving that to me? This is no man's land. I'm the only one who could handle it anyway.
Since I did do magic weapons in this playthrough, like, visiting him was pretty much worthless, but yeah, we'll give it to you.
Yes, as you should. I won't disappoint you. I'm taskless no longer.
Alright, that's pretty much it.
What is it? There's nothing to do. We're both cursed.
Okay. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else to
Don't
give
let
him.
me
Basically,
wither.
he'll now be able to upgrade your magic weapons to the next step.
Hey, hang on. Is that an ember? Oh, I'm sorry. We at Vinheim don't deal in shoddy embers like that. Perhaps you should try an old smith out in the country.
Well, the only other place
soon.
we haven't checked is we haven't checked the skeletal blacksmith, which I'm going to have to do a cut because I have to go all the way to the catacombs to do that. But unfortunately, I've run out a bit of my time here. So, in the next episode of Dark Souls, I'll give the final emblem to the skeletal blacksmith. I'll run across the pyromancer, and hopefully I run across the character I might have accidentally cut out of the game by going too far in. If I miss it, I'll explain the details, but other than that, it'll be the end game as we turn in the Lord vessels, the Lord souls to the Lord vessel, and encounter the first fire kiln. So join me in the final episode of Dark Souls. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And don't go hollow now, you hear?